Okay, Motorola Edge Plus 2022, but out. Got it right here. So I bought this with my own money because I was very intrigued by it. I've had a lot of people ask me about Motorola phones, want me to cover more, get outside of the box for just the Pixel, the Samsung. Well, I mean, I cover a lot of phones, but there's a lot of value inherent in the Motorola brand. They always charge less. Well, sometimes. They try to charge more than they sell them cheap. Big deal here. Normally, this phone is $999. Huge price drop to $599 on sale for all this Black Friday stuff. So you can get it now on Amazon or Best Buy. $599 unlocked, 512 gigabyte storage model with 12 gigabytes of RAM. Snapdragon 8 Generation 1. This is effectively on par. Pretty much every category other than some little fine tuning here and there is the S22 series phones. That's a lot of value. I mean, if you look at the MSRP for the Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus, we're talking about $999. Same thing for this, but now you can get it for $599. Also pay attention, they had a 3-hour power sale on Woot for $489. Like, I wish I saw it. I bought it yesterday for $599, and then they had this brief window. Anyway, so the phone is actually pretty good. Now, I've only had this phone for a day, but this is not a full review. I'll have a full review later. This is all right, let me test it out, put it through its paces a little bit, see what it has to offer, and tell you guys, is it worth $599? And absolutely, yes, it is. Which actually puts an interesting perspective on things because right now you get the Pixel 7 for $499. So, do you go Pixel 7 for $499 or Motorola Edge Plus for $599? I'm going to have a video about that later. I'm going to compare them directly. But Snapdragon 8 Generation 1, pretty nice. Good processor, lots of power. Actually, when you look at the benchmarks, it actually has a higher score than the S22 itself. So it edges it out, even though it's got the same hardware. So Snapdragon 8 Generation 1. The weird thing here, really weird anomaly kind of thing, the camera setup. There's no telephoto, which I'm actually okay with. I don't take a lot of telephoto zoom shots. But what you get is a 50 megapixel primary camera and a 50 megapixel ultra wide, and then a 2 megapixel depth. So you can get your portrait shots, you get good shots there in that regard when it comes to especially like ideal lighting. And everything I've read about this, I looked at some reviews, I looked at some camera samples. They're saying like color tone and image quality wise with the color saturation, actually it does look a little bit better than the S22 Plus. However, you get better bokeh with the S22, even though the skin tones are not quite on the same level, which, I mean, it's kind of a trade-off. Every one of these phones you look at, they bring a little bit of something extra to the table. At least this one doesn't have the shutter lag. And it's got a very more bare-bones operating system, which a lot of people like. NFC, wireless contactless payments. Here's the thing. They kind of cheaped out in a couple areas. So the display, Gorilla Glass 3, the back is Gorilla Glass 5, and then the frame is plastic. It's not a metal frame. So I'm actually kind of okay with that. I'm going to put a case on it. Mine was supposed to show up today. It didn't. I bought a 3-pack of screen protectors, glass screen protectors, for like $7.99. I'll put a link in the description, as well as the links in the description for the phone itself. Interesting thing. The fingerprint sensor is in the power button. And it actually works really well. It's responsive, but it's way up there. Like, it's way up there. I got to put my pen in. So, yeah, the button's way high up here, but pretty good fingerprint sensor. I'm usually pretty happy when they put a fingerprint sensor in the power button because it's natural. You reach for the power button a lot. I do always to turn on the display a lot of times, so it just makes sense, and then you're already connecting and getting the screen turned on. So I like that. Facial recognition technology also, bam, unlocks nice, quick, fast, in a hurry. 60 megapixel front-facing selfie camera. Don't get wrapped around that because it's not the greatest selfie camera in the world. It's good, it's competent, but again, low light stuff, computational photography, it's just not on the same level as the Pixel and the Samsung and the iPhone. So if you want to look at this in like a hierarchy perspective, Pixel 7 up top, iPhone 14 Pro, Pro Max just underneath that, then a little bit step down, you get the S22 series phones, and then a little bit below that, depending on different categories you look at, you're going to get the Motorola Edge Plus. I like the logo on the back. I like this blue color. They've also got, I think, like a whitish color. I can't remember the names. LED flash, 8K video on the back, 4K 30 on the front. I'm never going to shoot 8K video, but if you want to, shoot your heart out. So the battery life on it's rated, it's supposed to last you all day, just slightly more than what you're going to get with the S22 Plus from what I read on PC Magazine. 4,800 milliamp battery I think is adequate. It's got a nice, sleek design. I don't like how high the buttons are. I mentioned that a second ago. The buttons are up really high for being such a tall phone. I mean, we're talking about a big screen here. 6.7-inch, full 1080p plus, 144 hertz refresh rate. It is tangible. I can. It feels like it's faster than the 120 hertz that I'm used to. Maybe it's all in my mind. Maybe it's psychosomatics. Maybe it's whatever. Maybe it's placebo effect. 144 hertz refresh rate, also 60. Now, if you put it on 60, here, this phone will make a believer out of you. It will. If you think that there's no difference between 60 hertz, 90 hertz, 120 hertz, 144, go from 60 to 144. You'll notice the difference. So if you're interested, or if you can find this phone somewhere, go and cycle it off in the display settings, turn it to 60 hertz, and then to 144. It feels almost unusable. Like for me to go back to 60 hertz, it's painful. And you'll get better battery life, but it's painful to look at that. So just throwing that out there. It's got stereo speakers in it, USB-C charging on the bottom, does not have an external SD card slot, but you do get with this model 512 storage, which is good. I mean, 512 storage compared to what you get with the S22 Plus, I mean, you get the 128 for $999. So when you drop this down, you look at it at $599, 512 storage, 12 gigs of RAM, big screen, full 1080p plus, 144 hertz refresh rate, stereo speakers, the whole 9 yards, comes with the charger in the box. There's a lot to like here for $599. And especially if you could have gotten that like crazy deal for where it was on sale for 3 hours. Man, that would have been a great deal. But yeah, the biggest thing is it's just not as refined around the edges. It does have wireless charging, 15 watts. It has 5-watt power share, reverse wireless charging. It has a 30-watt charger in the box. It has a maximum wired charging speed of 68 watts, which is pretty darn quick. I mean, it's faster than the 45 watts you get with like the S22 Ultra. So there are a lot of things to like here. The only thing that I'm not crazy about is the software support. Now, it is giving 2 full upgrades on Android. This comes with Android 12 out of the box, but it's waiting on the Android 13 upgrade. It's going to Android 14. So you're only going to get basically 2 operating system updates out of this. They're offering 3 years of security updates. They don't do this stuff monthly. Like I took it out of the box. I think they're on a quarterly system setup. I updated it. It went to April. I updated it again. It went to June. So yes, you will get security patches, but it's not going to be like an every month thing. This is not going to be as reliable in that regard as Pixel and Samsung. But yeah, I would never recommend this phone at $999. Just like I don't recommend the S22 Plus at $999. But when I saw this at $599, I thought, you know what? I've got a lot of people asking about Motorola. They do make some good stuff. I always wanted the original Edge Plus for Verizon. I always thought it was a great looking phone, but it was Verizon exclusive. This one is unlocked, so you can use it with other carriers, pop your SIM card in it. And yeah, it doesn't have an IP rating on it that I could see. It might be like IP52 or IP53 if somebody finds it and wants to correct me. But from what I saw, I didn't have an official one listed. But all the way around, I've been impressed with it since I took it out of the box, especially for the price point. I mean, there's not a whole lot of competition out there when it comes to looking at pure price and performance for like the Pixel 7. But at $499, Pixel 7, amazing deal. I think this is a pretty amazing deal at $599. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are Motorola loyalists who like something different, like some of the software stuff. You like the whole rotate thing to turn on the camera. And then you can do the chopping action to turn the flashlight on. So there's some neat little things here. It's going to be supported for a couple of years. Top of the line processor, Snapdragon 8 Generation 1. I mean, I know they just announced the 8 Generation 2 like 2 days ago, but I don't think you can really go wrong with this at the price point and what they have to offer. So I'm going to have a full review later on. I'm going to test it out some more, let you know my exact thoughts and feels on it. But I just want to let you know now, it's on sale. $599 compared to $999. Top of the line Motorola model. And if you're interested, I've got links in the description. They're affiliate links. If you choose to use those, that's fine. Doesn't cost any extra. And if you buy it, then a portion of that comes back to the channel and helps support the channel. So it's win-win for both of us. But my full review will be coming out a little bit later. I didn't have time to get that done this week. Rome was not built overnight, and I can't do a full phone review in one day, right? I got to test this thing out, put my SIM card in it, see exactly how it is, on a day-to-day basis. But from everything I'm seeing so far, I'm impressed, and I think it's a good enough value. If you want to pick it up right now at $599, it makes a lot of sense for a lot of pocketbooks, a lot of budgets, especially with the skill set that it has. And the 144 hertz refresh rate, pretty darn nice. So that's all I got. I'm going to go get off here. If you have any questions or comments, please go down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, if you want to see more Motorola stuff, then please let me know. I like to pay attention to what the audience likes here. And of course, I do cover the Pixel stuff extensively. As you probably noticed if you've been here a while, value is a key driver for what I like to talk about. And this is a lot of value. A whole lot of it. It's not perfect by any means, but at $599 with everything it shoves in here, pretty good. So yeah, that's all I got. I'm going to shut up now. As always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.